February was a little less chaotic a little bit for us because I was gone part of the month with my husband on a trip. Hi, welcome to Schulte Sweetie's Homeschool YouTube channel. My name is Stephanie and I'm a mom of 3 girls ages 13, 9, and 7. And this is our February update. So I like to do these every month and just share a little bit about our family and what has happened, like events or things that we did, and then I share about curriculum as well. So I kind of wrote some notes down and I like to share those. So the first thing is, I mentioned this earlier, my husband and I were gone. We were gone from February 1st in the afternoon through the 9th. So a good chunk of February we were gone. We went on a cruise to Costa Maya, Cozumel, Nassau, Bahamas, and the Ocean Key is MSC Cruise Line Island. And so we went and explored all of those places and had a lot of fun. It was just nice to recharge with him and just be without kids for a while. So we did that, and my mom kept my kids going. She took my oldest daughter to public school every day. And then my younger two, she did some schoolwork with them. She didn't do as much as we would do normally, but that is fine. So she did read a lot to them, and they did different things at her house, like different crafts and baking and all sorts of things like that. Speaking of crafts, we did do one craft at a library recently. And we also, I took them to the park afterwards, and they loved that more than the craft because craft seemed kind of childish, and they said it wasn't as great. They made kaleidoscopes. They didn't love it, but I've been trying to get them to do like more at the library, like when we can, but they haven't really loved them so much. Some other things that happened like right at the beginning of February, my oldest, who is in public school, she's in choir. She went to like the solo and ensemble. This was her first time ever doing the solo and ensemble competition. And she decided to do a solo on her own, and she did it on level 3. I guess it's like 1 through 5. With 5 being like the lower level. She did 3 and she got a gold. So we're really proud of her for doing that. She's been trying to branch out and do more things. Just kind of, in some ways she feels like she needs to kind of like prove herself in a way because she's new this year and wants to show people that she's working hard. So we were proud of her for that. And then my mom also took my girls to a 4-H meeting locally here, and I think that we are going to be joining 4-H. They have monthly meetings, and so the first one in January was like an online thing because of snow, and so I think I'm going to take them again here. And so they will be just doing monthly meetings and then doing some sort of projects. I don't think we're going to do animal projects this year because we're still trying to figure out 4-H. But that might come next year. My middle daughter especially loves animals, if you don't know that already about her. So she is excited to possibly do animal stuff in the future. Getting more baby chicks, I think, is one of them. So that is for activities. And then also, we have recently gone to a children's play in like a bigger city near us. They did Dr. Seuss, The Cat in the Hat, and it was surprisingly better than I expected. I was like, oh, I don't know how this will be, but I really actually enjoyed it. They had like these people that weren't necessarily actresses as much and actors as much as they were like circus performers. So that was really fun to have like that part of the play, and I enjoyed it more than I expected. Of course, we like Dr. Seuss here. My dad used to read Dr. Seuss to me and then also to my children when they were young. So Dr. Seuss is a special place in our heart with that. So that's pretty much our month, except that we also had more snow dumped on us. Thankfully, it wasn't when we were gone because I think I would have worried about my mom, how she would have been with the snow. But it came like the week right after that. And so my daughter actually missed from public school. There was 2 days that they had snow days, which is funny because One of the days that she ended up having a snow day and being at home and doing an e-learning day was actually a day that was supposed to be off, but then a makeup snow day, so it was all crazy. But 2 days in 1 week she had e-learning. But actually in some ways that was kind of nice. Like, it doesn't break up our day for me to go pick her up and things. So we were actually able to get more schoolwork done that week than normal. So I'm going to move on to curriculum wise. I'm not going to share everything that's going on. You can check back on past videos if you want to. I have all of the months, and then also like what we changed this school year. So all sorts of videos that you can check if you want to. But I'm going to just kind of touch a few things on each of my girls, and then also like what we've been doing family-wise and what we're prepping. So for my youngest, I mentioned the last time, 1 or 2 videos, I don't remember when, that she loved mind benders and was just enjoying it so much. And then I was trying to figure out what else to do for her. So we have started this science mind bender. She's booking it right along with these. A lot of it is also like learning about some of the science, like this is mammals and reptiles. It does have some of these puzzles, but they're like every, I don't know, 5 or 6 pages. They're not on a regular, like every page. She does let me go through a few pages, and sometimes we get to those puzzles and sometimes we don't. Another thing that we picked up for her, and we've done a little bit of these, are mind benders verbal. So they are basically like those puzzles, except you're just like answering the questions verbally instead of writing out on the picture. So we have enjoyed that. And another switch for her, we've been doing Logic of English, and there's nothing wrong with Logic of English. I think it's more that I wasn't as comfortable in Logic of English, but like she's completed A, and B is getting more into spelling and focusing a lot on handwriting and some other things. And I really felt like I really was like maybe skipping things that I shouldn't skip, but we weren't doing the handwriting. I don't know. There was a lot of things I was just like, I don't know. We could stay with it and it's fine. But I'm more comfortable with all about reading, and that's really what I want to focus on. We have some like grammar books here and there. She has another handwriting. My focus is on reading with her, and she's been using this Lexia app, not as regular as before Christmas, but she is still using it and still learning from it. So I'm using that along with, now we have switched her back to all about reading. I just picked up right where we left off. I think it was lesson 24, and we're just moving along, and I'm taking it slow and trying to be more patient and coming up with some different ideas, especially for those these sheets that take these practice sheets. I sometimes dread them. With my middle, we didn't actually do them all the time. Like I would kind of pick and choose what I wanted her to read. But I'm trying to be creative. Like today I timed her, and like tomorrow we're gonna see if she can beat that time. So we're kind of going through it differently than before. I'm correcting her, taking time, and we're just kind of working through it a little bit slow. But we are like lesson 26 or 27 now. So this is, I think, what we're going to stick with, unless I see that she needs to like pause again. But at this point, I think that she has enough. She's really blending better than she did before. That was like what the hang up was. She wasn't able to blend, and she's really blending now. She still struggles sometimes with vowel sounds, and so I have to correct her with that. I think if she took the time and didn't try to rush through it, she would get it correct more often. So that is pretty much for her, the little bit of changes. A couple of things for my middle daughter who's 9 and in 4th grade. We've kind of gone, I have different resources, and of course I have a whole spelling video of what we've tried, what we are doing right now. I think we just needed a break. She had been doing the Soaring with Spelling and was kind of bored of it, and so we picked up the Thinking Tree spelling journal. We have 3 of them actually, and I kind of let her pick and choose. And this is one where she can write like 5 words. There's comics, there's like search your house and come up with some words. And so she kind of gravitates towards this one, but she does use all of them. So I'm just kind of letting her pick, but she does need to do at least one of these pages each day. So that has been good. I think her spelling is improving. I knew it would probably just take some time. She's like thinking through things a little more, especially when we do editor in chief. That is an editing, like a paragraph. And when they focus on spelling, she almost always gets the spelling right. I think like she's able to really pick up on when things are spelled wrong if she's looking at it. So I am happy that she is progressing still. So we're just kind of sticking with the thinking tree for this year, I think. And then next year we have something else planned. I will go through those in future videos. So one other thing with her that I have really been happy with is this Scholastic Vocabulary Words. This is 240 vocabulary words kids need to know. I bought this kind of on a whim. It is a cheap little book. The price on here says $12.99, but I'm pretty sure it costs less on like Amazon or something. I'm not sure. But this has been really good. And we've only done, I think, 2 complete weeks of lessons. Actually, 3 lessons. Almost 3 lessons. So some of the things that I like about this, and I will do a future video on all this, but it goes through, it has words that are synonyms, and then we're going to have a couple weeks of antonyms, compound words, homophones, homographs, words from other languages, Latin roots, Greek words. So there's a lot, there's prefixes, all sorts of things. There's a lot. But what I have really liked, so there's a couple things. So for a lesson, you have the words on the first day. Here's your word list, and then it kind of goes through the information, what they mean. It kind of gives you like a little paragraph, a little poem almost too. And then what we do is we complete the A and B on the first day. So this would be like write the blend form for each pair, and then write a vocabulary word for each clue. So it gives you the clues. Then the second day is more like fill in the blank and then some answering of the questions. Now, these activities actually change up a little bit. Like one day she had a maze, and she hasn't had that like the other week. So like this one has a crossword puzzle. So not every week is going to be the same, which I like that too. Like it's a little bit different each time. But what I've really liked, so that's day 2. We actually do this little section right here on another day. I kind of break it up so she's not doing too much in one day, but this is writing to learn. And if you have seen some of my other videos, this is one that I struggle with writing. And so this has given like a little prompt, and it's been fun. And so like the first one, she wrote a letter, like an invitation, I think it was. And then the second week she did like a garment, because garment was on one of her words, and she drew a dress and she got to color it and make it her own. And then she wrote a whole paragraph on like an ad. She's like, I'm gonna make this into an ad. So it was like you were supposed to just include 2 of the words from that week in like a sentence or 2, a couple sentences about the garment or the dress. And so she did that, and she did really well. You didn't have to do a dress either, by the way. If you have any boys, you could draw something else too. It could be like a sweatshirt or something. So I like that these are just like different prompts that aren't like the normal write a paragraph, write a sentence. This is write a traffic report, use at least 2 of these vocabulary words. So these are really like being super creative, and I have been really impressed. Like one of them says write a dialogue between 2 people. So that is usually like our 3rd day of doing this. And then a blends, this is like the blends crossword puzzle. So that's her 4th day. So then on the 5th day, which we haven't actually done this in a full week, we kind of spread it out. I try to do this daily, but not every day we have a school lesson. So on the 5th day, I do kind of go like quiz her on the words to make sure she's learned it. And she has known each of these words every single time. So I have been really happy with this Scholastic vocabulary, and I mean, we have a ways to go, so she will just be working on this year and into next year, but I have a feeling that we will likely pick this back up next year. I am really happy with this vocabulary. I had mentioned I had gotten these 3 workbooks. I mentioned this last month for my middle daughter to work on. And I thought I'd give an update really quick on how these are going. So the correct the sentence, I thought she loves editor-in-chief and that she would love these because they are just like correcting a sentence a day. She did not like this. She might just like those, but she said it was actually pretty hard. I kind of think editor-in-chief is kind of hard, but she just did not like this. So I don't think we will, I'm not going to push it. It was just kind of a little bit more of like tiny bit busy work, but also I was trying to do it while I was gone so she could do it with my mom, and this was just not a hit. Daily reading comprehension, I have been really emphasizing this and it's gone well. She is remembering the stories, and the activities each day are very easy. Like, so the first day they read the story and answer these questions or do this little activity on Monday. Tuesday they do something here. Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday they usually have like a sentence or 2 to write. It's not very difficult and it's gone well. So I am very happy with that. Now, the last one is paragraph of the week. We have not, I don't even think we've picked it up at all. So we haven't done this at all, but I might be picking this up to kind of go through some different things with her, especially with our public virtual school. We need to turn some extra things in. So we might be working on this soon, but we have not used this. So far it's not been a hit yet because we haven't used it. On to our family subjects. So this has been a month of a lot of change, not because like things weren't working. It was just, it was like a plan change. So I wanted to share what we have been working on. So we started science chunks. This is the motion unit. There's not very many lessons. I think there's 3 lessons in here. We've done 1 so far. So yeah, I think there are 3. With the science chunks, we do a lap book. So we have started the lap book and done an experiment. So we have also, I think we watched a video about the Newton's 3 laws. We've watched a video, and I do have some books as well. So I think we're going to read some books from the library about this, but that has been a hit. We like these science chunks, and I like that these lessons don't take very long, and they're 3 lessons. That's all it is. So after that, we are going to move into something else. It's a Harbor and Sprout unit, and I will share that in just a second because I've been prepping that. Then we have also been working on this Princess and Frog fairy tale writing adventures. This is from New Millennium Girls, and they have lots of creative writing books, not just for girls. But my girls, both of them are working at the same time. So this is in our family subjects. So far, so good. I'm helping my youngest write, which makes my middle daughter upset because she doesn't want to write for herself. But so far, so good. We've only done a little bit so far. They have an activity that they're supposed to do before our next lesson. So that is what we will do. I've enjoyed it so far. Another thing that we picked up, because we finished Ancients, so we have picked up Medieval History, and we're doing rabbit trails through history. We've done 1 lesson, I think, so so far so good. I think it'll go well. I'm not too concerned about it. One thing that we've done with some of the rabbit trails and things, we have kind of picked out a country sometimes and done a little bit more geography with that, which is nice. And we're using like Guest Hollow's geography, as well as I have Let's Go geography, and just kind of picking some of the things ourselves, and sometimes Homeschool Share, getting lap books from them. So it doesn't have anything to do with medieval history that we picked this, but our next book club with some homeschool friends is about like Ireland, St. Patrick's Day and things. So I was like, oh, let's pick Ireland and really dig in. And so we've done the lap book on Ireland, like they did animals and the flag, They have a map, like language and things. So all sorts of things, time. And we watched some videos on Ireland, but we really like these lap books. This doesn't fold very well back into itself, but we have really enjoyed this. And then we have been doing the old version of My Brother's Keeper from Not Consumed, and we've only done one lesson. So, I mean, that's kind of how like a lot of this is that we started so far, is like one lesson. And then a couple other things. I did pick this up for like those days that like you don't want to do much school, but you need to do some school. So this is Wild Science from Love at Home Education. And I picked this up. I kept seeing her on TikTok and I picked this up and I really like it. It's cute. So they have activity pages. I have a teacher's guide. It was pretty inexpensive. And she lists like the episodes that you need to watch of Wild Kratts. So my girls are all about the animals and they have enjoyed this. They do like a little bit of drawing and maybe writing a couple facts. Not much, but it does get some schoolwork done. And then the last thing that we picked up, this was kind of unexpected, but I did another video of why we picked this up. Long story short is my oldest daughter and we came across a fire on the way to her school one morning and we called 911. And so it got me really thinking, like, I need to make sure my younger girls are also like aware of situations and things. So we picked up the safety unit from The Good and Beautiful. We have had this. It also comes with a workbook. You don't have to do the workbook, but we do. And so we've done 2 lessons so far, and we're going to just kind of keep going through this until we're finished. So I think there's 10 lessons, so it's not very much. So some of the things that I'm prepping right now in order for like us to switch to or for next year, we're going to do Harbor and Sprout Aviation Unit. There's an Air Force Museum near us, not too far away, and so we are going to go to that I think during spring break. That's my tentative plan. And so we have that coming up. I'm excited. As I was like printing it off, there were things I'm excited about, especially in this. We aren't doing every subject. The geography was about Kansas, and while I think there could be some great things to learn from it, we went to Kansas last year, and it's not the state that we live in. And so I just figured we'll just kind of move on and not do geography. But that's what I like about these units, is that you can kind of pick and choose what subjects you want to cover. I think we're going to do science, history, nature. I can't remember what else. Probably not music because they have piano lessons. That is Harbor and Sprout Airplane Unit. I'm also printing out... this will be what I'm actually going to talk about later this week, is the Resurrection Unit from Grapevine Studies. We have done Grapevine Studies before. This is like one of their stick figure ones. We've done Esther in the stick figures. So we are going to do that for Easter, and I'm going to share about that in my Easter collaboration video later this week. So that is another thing I'm printing. Another thing I'm printing out, which I never thought I would do, is printing out next year's history. We are using Guest Hollow's history, and I was not going to print out their textbook, but I just decided I had some thicker printing paper, and I was like, this would kind of be nice. And so I've been printing that out here and there. It takes a lot of ink, and just it's a lot of printing because there are some colorful pictures in there, beautiful pictures, but I decided to go ahead and print that out just to have. I like to be able to hold it and read from books and things if we can, instead of just going straight to my iPad. So that is what I'm also printing, and as well as some other curriculum, but we will be sharing all of that later in a couple months with our picks. So that is pretty much February. I'm looking forward to March and some nicer spring weather and sunshine. Let me know how your February went, and I will talk to you later.